walking the talk means not just to talk about stakeholder capitalism, but also to establish a framework of metrics which allow everybody to see that a company is performing according to the ESG criteria.
So what if I told you that Budweiser was the victim here? Let's get into it. All right, folks, so many people have been upset with Budweiser, Bud Light. I myself am moving on to a new beer. I will let you know what that is at the end of the video. I do want to hear your comments as to what beers, if you're one of those people like me who are not going with Budweiser anymore or disassociating themselves from Anheiser Busch products, then I'll give you a tip on an excellent American beer, two American beers actually, depending on where you live. But I will give you that tip at the end of the video. I want to hear what beer you're going with. Now, I want to explain this. I did this when I say Budweiser's the victim. They actually are. It's almost like a hostage situation. And I'm still moving off of Bud products because in the end, there's always a choice. And they chose to take a knee for major accounting firms, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a moment. Now, about a year ago, I put out a video on ESG scores, environmental, social, and corporate governance. These are scores that were put together with metrics created by the big four investment firms. I believe that's what Klaus meant, but I'll give you a clip where Klaus explains this, which is disturbing in its own right, but it's the big four, BlackRock, and then there's BlackRock, then there's Vanguard and State Street, et cetera. They're all in on this, okay? Collectively, tens of trillions of dollars. It's, look at my notes here. So 190 billion controlled by the big four. That's Deloitte, Ernst & Young, PwC, and KPMG. Then we're looking at BlackRock. This is where the big money come in. These are the publicly run, the publicly held accounting firms, and you've got BlackRock at 8.6 trillion. You've got Vanguard managing 8.6 trillion. You've got State Street managing some 4 trillion, and combined, it's $20.5 trillion that they manage. All right, so and you add that to the 190 billion with the big four. These are the people who came up with these ESG metrics. It's the people who run these firms, the Larry Finks of the world, and the problem. And I'm going to let you hear it from Klaus because I kept this clip. This was from my original video on ESG where I was trying to explain to people these companies are not running themselves anymore. They're not making their own decisions. They are all on one knee, and it ain't to the Star Spangled Banner. It's to these investment firms. And I'll let him explain it to you real quick.
I think we are moving from the priority of short-term shareholder profit maximization to a world which is characterized much more by stakeholder responsibility. What we have to do now, and what is very important, is to walk the talk. And walking the talk means not just to talk about stakeholder capitalism, but also to establish a framework of metrics which allow everybody to see that a company is performing according to the ESG criteria. So the International Business Council of the World Economic Forum has undertaken the task together with the 4 big audit companies to develop such a comprehensive system which allows not only a reporting process where the companies can be really measured, but which allows also to see progress companies are making, similar to the financial reporting system.
Okay, so similar to the financial system, right? And he talks about the International, Business Council or whatever. Like, what is all this garbage of the WEF? Like they are absolutely implementing and controlling all of this. And as I explained in earlier videos, they're all beholden to the CCP. It took me forever to kind of figure that whole connection out. But when you hear all this propaganda out there about China being the next superpower, their day is coming, blah, 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 that's all coming out of Xi Jinping's mouth. That's not coming out of whatever paper you read. It's not coming out of Klaus's mouth when he says China is an amazing model. Like this, they're all in the same freaking gang, and the CCP has been at this since 1949. And the fact that why does the CCP care about transgender? Because it's a part of the demoralization process. That's why. It's to further remove and cement religion out of society, okay? And you do that by indoctrinating youth. That's what you do. They're willing to bet that most consumers won't even know about this story and that they can fly right through it and just get it done, keep going, play like nothing happened, and double down on it, which is what they did, and then just keep moving. I'm done with them forever. Personally, I'll never drink another Bud product if I have a say. If I show up at someone's house and they bought it and it is what it is and it's free beer, it is what it is. But I ain't giving them my money. That's for sure. I'm not giving them my money. So here is the beer that you should be buying. Pabst Blue Ribbon, my humble opinion. They ran an event last year, so I'm researching all this stuff because I research everything now. I'm like psycho. So I'm like researching beers. And I'm looking for a light lager in the line of, Miller Lite, which is also, I think, fine. They're owned by Molson Coors, which is a conglomerate of Canadian and U.S. companies. But they're not owned by Anheiser Busch or InBev, whatever. But Pabst Blue Ribbon is a special ticket. Look at this event they did, 1776 pack with 1,776 beers. They did this July 4th of 2021, which I just thought was cool as heck. When I saw this, I was like, oh, these guys are awesome. And it's like, the quote here was, we figured the best way to honor the year America claimed its independence was to make a box that held that many beers. So they made a box that box in that truck holds 1,776 beers. That's awesome. I wonder if they opened it, if they drank them, or if they kept it as a collector's piece. I'd actually be curious to know what it costs, because I think that's pretty cool. Pabst Blue Ribbon has been around since like 1884, I think. I don't know if the year is listed in this article. Yep, 1844. I'm sorry, 1844. They've been around since 1844, meaning they were around through the Depression. They survived Prohibition. And I saw a documentary about brewing companies about them. But this was one of the ones I'm trying it today. You could join me on Wednesday Night Live. I'm going to let everybody know how it went. I haven't had a Pabst Blue Ribbon, which is crazy, but I haven't. So I'm going to do that today. It was actually my brother's idea, and he. And I'm going to let him know how it is as well. And then the other beer that I wanted to let you know about, if you're not aware, you probably are. If you live somewhere where it exists, you know about it, is Yuengling, which most of the East Coast has probably already migrated to. They're on the East Coast. Pennsylvania Brewery claimed to be the oldest brewery in America. So with Pabst coming out in 1844, I don't even know when Yuengling was founded. Leave it in the comments if you know. But it's something I enjoyed and got spoiled with while I was living on the East Coast, and now I can't get, to save my life. They don't have it here. Even in the mega Bev stores, they don't have it. So those are the two beers that I would suggest. I think they are. I think they're a great decision. This is the owner. So when you look him up, if you look up who owns it or whatever, and you see the Wikipedia thing come up that says Russian American, whatever, like they throw in Russian just to be, because he is a Russian American, but he's an American, right? And why wouldn't they just say American? Well, they say Russian American. I think we all know why. Even here on their main clip, they put born, they got to make sure they let you know he's from the Soviet Union and whatever. Like, whatever. He's American now. He's an entrepreneur, and he's cranking out great beer with tributes to 1776. Dude's a patriot. Super happy to be here. And frankly, we should be super happy to have him. So until next time, join me on Wednesday night, folks, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, okay? So it's California time for our international folks. If you follow us, click the follow button and click the get all notifications. I am not constantly putting out videos. Pretty much it's Wednesday Night Live, and then it'll be maybe one other video during the week. I'm not going to inundate your inbox with notifications, but if you don't put get all notifications, you're not going to get one. It's almost guaranteed. I've got 16,000 followers. I want to say even my own family don't get don't get notifications on occasion. Even I don't get on my personal account. I don't get notifications. So like that's how I'm rolling with some of these networks, in particular YouTube, and then Facebook with the shadow banning. YouTube just knocks me out and suspends me. All right, folks. Until next time, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'm out.